My goal is to finish this paint job in the next couple days, finish a truck that I've got out in front of the shop. That's a collision. I've got a new fender that I've got to paint and install, new radiator, new condenser. Then finish that, deliver it, hopefully next week. Then I've got to pretty much start from scratch on this 65 Mustang convertible that I've had since, I think, 2016. So I've had it for over 4 years, I think. And these people have become friends of mine, friends of my wife's now. They were just here yesterday. You know, I was honest. I said, I don't have any progress on it. I said, it has made a good shelf. You know, and I try not to pile stuff on it, but here I am piling stuff on it. The best I can say is that I am going to paint that car. It is going to be my last hurrah. Then I'm gonna finish up my projects that I have here. I've got, you know, a bunch of like non-running vehicles outside that I own, and I'm too stubborn to sell them for a loss. So I've got to work on them and get them sold. And that will take me all of this year, I bet. I work by myself. I don't have interest in having a helper. So I'm gonna finish these jobs, then work on these cars that are in disrepair. I've got classic square body pickups, 2 of them out there, step side. So I can show y'all the process of me repairing those vehicles, putting them up for sale, selling them, then rolling that money into my new venture, a retail store in a vacation town. Selling t-shirts and sunglasses and hats and tubes to float the river. And everybody's pretty much, the strong majority of the customers are there on vacation. Many others are just passing through, going somewhere else, and they see this quaint little town with a whole lot of vehicles parked on Main Street, and people walking on the sidewalks like shopping, and they're like, what? And they hit the brakes, and they come in and they're like, this town is so cool, what is this? And then some of them, you know, it was their destination. They come once a year. They might be from Kansas or California, Texas, you know, all over. And they're like, yeah, every year we come and we float the river and rent a cabin or rent a house or bring the camper, whatever. So it's fun. There's rarely any confrontation, rarely any negative incidents at a store like that. I have found. I was new to it. Last year, my wife and I would go and have breakfast. So I kept seeing the for rent sign, and oh, actually I got a spray adhesion promoter. I'll keep talking while I spray adhesion promoter on it to make sure the dye sticks. So anyways, I kept seeing this for rent sign on what used to be a Native American store next door to the breakfast joint. I wonder what's going to end up getting put there in place of the native store. So I keep seeing the for rent sign, and I'm like, wonder how much that place is, and I wonder, you know, who's going to get it. So we stayed in this town during the week, Monday through like Thursday. Then, and I would make our money at the auto body shop. Then we would go to the house in the Ozarks on the weekend, and we would go and walk the stores on Main Street. It got to a point where it was springtime and there's still a for rent sign. I had never seen anything, not a person at that now vacant store. And I just, every time I would see it, I'd say, I wonder what's going to go there. I wonder how much, how much a spot like that costs. Right on Main Street in this little vacation town. May rolls around and Memorial Day weekend is like, was a big pivotal point for this town because people would come into town to float this spring-fed river that's 60 degrees or 68 degrees spring-fed water. It's like the first weekend of May, first week of May, I think. I'd have to look at a calendar, but it was May, and we're having breakfast. For rent sign's still up. I didn't mean it rudely, but I probably said, what a bunch of losers. Nobody's renting this. Nobody wants to do something with it. And I just kept rambling on it, as I do sometimes. And I was like, I've been wondering how much it is, and I call. I'm like, how much is this building on Main Street? He's like, so-and-so dollars a month, including electricity and water. And I'm like, I'll take it. He's like, what are you gonna put in there? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, what? I'm like, at that price, I'll take it. The season's about to hit, I'll do something. I'm like, probably an automotive detail shop or an oil change shop, because those 2 garage bays in back are gonna be perfect for that. And I've got a whole bunch of shop equipment. He goes, no, wait. The rent only includes the front small, like, I'll have to measure the square footage, but I'd be surprised if it's 400 square feet. He's like, it's only that retail space included in the rent. And I'm like, no problem, I'll take it. No idea what I was gonna do in there. Self-taught auto body and paint, then self-taught karaoke DJ and party DJ. We out. Then back to auto body and paint. That's it. That's all I'd ever done. Never run a store, never done retail. That evening, after telling him, we went down to his other business on Main Street and paid the cashier there, paid her the first and last month's rent on the spot with a check from the body shop. And my intention had always been to close the body shop because I was unhappy and stressed, and I don't like working with the chemicals. I just have been done with it, but it's hard to turn down the money, and evidently I enjoyed parts of it, or I wouldn't have gotten into it, I guess. But either way, my intention was to close the body shop, get out of auto body, find a way to replace my income. So we gave them first and last month's rent for this little retail store on Main Street. We go home that evening to figure out what we're gonna do in that store, in that spot. I sit in my beautiful little cottage in my chalet in the Ozarks, looking out the view onto the river and 2 lakes. And I tell what's her name, you can't say Alexa. So I tell what's her name to turn the living room lights purple to set the mood, and I pull out a notepad and I write insect repellent, sunscreen, sunglasses, sun hats, camping supplies, fishing supplies, tubes to float the river, convenience store for campers was my idea. And it's like less than 2 weeks before Memorial Day weekend at this point. So all I had ever done is fix cars, paint cars, and host karaoke gigs. And here I am trying to open what I thought would be a convenience store for campers, because there's a campground right across the street. I also was thinking there's the crowd, the antique shoppers and the Main Street shoppers, that I could have like bird houses and bird feeders and local made crafts and stuff. And I love art, so I thought maybe I could have local art, even have a gallery feature. A little black coffee. Mm. I didn't even know how to hang merchandise. You know, you think it sounds easy, but you walk into an empty rectangular space with nothing on the walls, floors, nothing, and you go ahead and figure out how to display merchandise. I had to start walking in convenience stores and retail stores and looking at, the shelving and stuff. And then I'm like, well, we got to get all this stuff. We have less than 2 weeks. And so I'm rushing around trying to get shelves. I'm, trying to find merchandise, figuring out, can we even make money off the merchandise, using money from the auto body and paint shop to start a retail store. We're pulling licensing, we're pulling permits, and we threw stuff in it Thursday night. Memorial Day weekend kicks off Friday, and we threw stuff in there Thursday night. Stayed till 2 a.m. Barely had it even resembling a store. I mean, we had cardboard boxes stacked with a tablecloth over them, looking like a table, and it may still be there after a year. It's been, we opened May 2019 and have more than survived. And now my wife's there running it while I'm supposed to be dying the body cladding on this truck. We have a young, but I mean, I'll call it successful, and I don't mean like we're making a lot of money. I mean, what we're doing is working. We're buying things and then selling them, and we're making enough profit to pay our bills and buy more merchandise to then sell again. So, if we can continue to do that, I don't need more out of life. I need, a vehicle to take me where I need to go, and yeah, it can also be fun, a fun vehicle. Need clothes. I don't need jewelry, I don't need anything extravagant. So if I can pay all my bills and have money for, emergencies and medical treatments and whatever, and then I'm good. And then I just got to find out what people want in that store, eliminate the things that aren't selling, identify the things that are selling, maximize the movement of those, maximize the pricing, the profit of those, the purchasing, the pricing, the profit, the movement of what is desired and selling. Find new items that are desired, listen to people and provide what they want. When somebody tells me they want something at my store, I seek it and I get it. And then if somebody else sees, that item in the store while it's waiting on that person, and they also say they like it, the next thing you know, I'm putting a section in. And my goal in that store is to maximize not just the square feet, but the cubic feet. I want merchandise from the floor to the ceiling, from the window to the walls, and I want every cubic foot something that is interesting, wanted, and moving. No cobwebs, no dust. I don't want to have to dust. Y'all take the dust with you on that item as you purchase it after I just set it down there. Then I'll put another item in that empty place. Then when I walk away, you grab that item and purchase that. Then I'll put another one there. And when I realize that those items are moving, I'll buy 10 of them or 30 of them instead of one. I'll get them for a better price. Then I'll move them on to you at a better price. So I may have not thought I was a salesman, but it sure is working out. I don't have to sell my stuff. My stuff is desired. It's cool. People want it. And if they didn't know they wanted it, it's so cool that they want it now. And it's like going into the beach, beach in Florida, but it's in Ozarks, Arkansas, a little small town surrounded by antique shops and craft stores and stuff. So it has been fun, and I think that it's, I don't, can't call it my calling. Maybe it is, I don't know, but it's fun. I've been doing it for over a year. I go through phases where I'm exhausted. I don't get up as early as I need to and open it as early as I need to, so we open at 10 a.m. But I have heard so much positive feedback this season, especially now that we used the stimulus payment and used the PPP loan to purchase displays, fixtures, and merchandise for the store. That's already been a few months at this point, but I wanted to be ready for the season. I've got no idea what I'm doing, but I'm trying to figure out the patterns so that I can close this shop, get away from the chemicals, get out of the heat. It's 88 degrees in here right now, and trying to build a retail store. And then hopefully the next step is I can clerk that store, train a clerk to run it the way that I feel it should be run, and then me step back and open another store just like it in Florida, get a winter home in Florida, and run the Arkansas store and the Florida store and go back and forth from Arkansas to Florida. That's the goal. 40 years old, I gotta get in shape. I gotta finish work at this shop, sell the shop. I gotta get the retail store put together. And y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna share it all with you. So let me shut up and paint some vinyl. I'm gonna put my respirator on and turn the fans on.